Hello, and welcome to Learn to Skill. So here I'm going to basically learn JavaScript, record myself learning JavaScript, and then upload it. So this is the first episode. So right now we're running on I'm learning on Django and React web development. So basically right now I'm coding the game Snake. So let me just start the back end and front end. Just run the manage file. So the virtual environment. Spell it wrong. This is supposed to be a very learning experience. I do not know much about JavaScript. I'm in my ChatGPT phase, so a lot of my work, he's a co-author, but you learn, you get better, and then one day I might have to kick him out. So here, let's run the Django backend server. So I basically learned how to do the web stuff by watching online tutorials. So here's the Django server. Got it running. Currently the page for that is down, but we're not working on that. Today I want to focus on the Snake game. Got a couple bugs I want to iron out. So here we have the front end. So currently I just got an online portfolio template here. I know we have the about page and the Snake page. I want to focus today on the Snake page. So currently we have the basic functionality of Snake, courtesy of ChatGPT. I have a Python version, but I just had ChatGPT translate it for me. This is the current version. I have a couple plans for what I want to try to do today. So currently, you can get this thing to grow. However, the score does not update, and it will wrap in the right direction and the south or down direction. But for some reason, up does not work, and left does not work. Why? So we're gonna find out, I guess. So the first thing I want to do is, I guess, show what's happening. So right now, all the main code is here. This is the code for the Snake itself, and then the food, so the red squares. And then I got the main for overall control. So this is the actual page. I mostly understand these files. This is, but the actual JavaScript loop I'm a little lost in. So hopefully we can get better at that as we develop. But so the first thing I want to focus on is the wrapping, because for some reason the directions aren't working. I believe it's the negative direction. So if you look here, the left is going down in the X direction, or I guess this would be left in the X direction, none in the Y direction, and then the up direction is going backwards, because in the actual canvas this point is 0, 0, and this point would be your size, by your size. So So for me, the canvas size is 400, so this is 0.400, 400, and this is 0.0. So if you want to go backwards in the x direction, it would go this way, and backwards in the y direction, we go this way. So this would be the starting direction. So the main component of the wrapping is this right here. So what is happening is the snake is adding a new head every time, and then removing the previous head, the last head in the array, and simulates movement. And what this does is it calculates the new position of the new head for one move. So it gets the current x. The canvas is split into a 20 by 20 grid. So what this says is basically we want the current position plus a grid, whether that be in the negative direction, no direction, or negative direction or no direction, or positive direction. So this is what actually does the wrapping. In my Python implementation, this works for all directions, but for some reason it doesn't work in JavaScript. So I was curious if the actual %sign operator is different in JavaScript and Python. If it isn't, then screw me. So basically I just gotta figure that out. So the %sign operator in Python I believe it's either remainder or modulo. I'm not sure what modulo actually does. So in JavaScript, it is the modulus operator. So it is used for calculating the remainder of a division operation. So say 7% 3 would be 1, since 3 times 2 is 6, and then there's 1 remainder. Except, so here's our problem, is that with negative numbers, it equals a negative output. And since the up direction and the left direction are both negative, what we're seeing is a negative x and y, which contributes to the reason why the snake actually is on the screen. So that makes sense. So somehow going to have to change that. So at this point here, I believe it doesn't seem to go far actually. I wonder if it's actually stopping up there. I guess what if the position was negative 400? I wonder what the remainder. I wonder if we can get the snake big enough so we can actually see it. Huh. So that is interesting. It seems like at some point it actually catches the wraparound. Some weird behaviors going on there. So there is actually a point where it stops. It does not go on forever. It doesn't really matter, since we're going to need it to become a positive number. We want it to go from here to here. It's interesting. I don't know what is causing one square peak, but yeah, that is. So, let's say our first course of action is looking at the edge cases and seeing if there is a workaround fix for all accounts. Because when you really think about it, the issue is stemming from the same problem for both directions. So say this is position 0, and then what would happen is we would say that the current is 0, and then we would add if we're going up would be 0, so the x would stay the same. Say we're going up, the 0, -1. So current y would be 0 plus -1 times 20. So it's a 20 by 20 grid. So this would actually be -20 remainder of 400. So what would that be? See, I wonder if 0 remainder 400, shouldn't that equal 400? No, it would equal 0. See, I want to refrain from just putting 4 ace statements here saying if current.y is 0, then, you know, make it 400. I feel like there would be a way to do this. I'd say, like, if this is negative, then make it positive. I mean, right? I mean, couldn't we just say, I know I just said it, I don't do this, but just as a principle. I just want to say again, I'm not an expert. JavaScript, I'm learning, that's the point. So if whatever I type, there will be a lot of mistakes, trust me, but that's kind of the part of the process. Learn by doing. So, say new head at y is equal to, I guess, would be less than or equal to. Just consult ChatGPT. So it is just a, what's it equal to? I don't know if it's a 3 operator. So just say 0, and then say just times it by -1, and then do the same thing for x. Say you have to have 2 different loops, so you don't want to times a positive by negative. So let's try that. So refresh. So we get a bounce. Oh yeah, because it's over here, we're at 0. We add -20. It catches that it's -20. So we automatically times it by -1, making it 20. So we just bounce. So we go from 0 to 20 permanently. So instead of making it, instead of times it by, we literally just need to make it the highest possible then. Let's try that. Go back to snake game, refresh. That is essentially the behavior we want. However, if you can see, we're skipping a grid size here. In all directions now. I don't believe that behavior was happening before. Oh yeah, that no. So we're not skipping a grid size like this, but as soon as I flip it, so I guess there's a part of the problem that's not comprehending. Because for some reason, when you add this logic, it seems to add a grid over here. That is interesting for sure. So, that is interesting. So it's seeming to add a grid along the edges, so 420 instead of. So it's going to 420 instead of 20 instead of starting at 420. So we're adding a grid in every direction. Why did that happen? So actually, we literally just cannot get this fixed. So there is a grid being added. This fix. So obviously, this is not the way to go. So think about this in another context. So I guess we should look into one of the directions that's already working and seeing what's different now. So I guess the 400, which is this column right here, it adds the, what would be negative in this situation? At some point this loop would have to catch. Maybe it's the equal to 0. Maybe it equals 0. Yeah, let's try that. Maybe when it equals 0, it's messing with the behavior. Yep. I think that was it. Yes. Okay, so that's fixed. Actually, I fixed everything. So now we have wraparound for all directions? Yes. Yes, that seems correct. So, we have a basic fix. A force fix, if you will. I don't know if I like it currently, but I guess we'll do for now. Let me just add a note. Okay, so now that we have kind of a band-aid fix for that, I want to try to fix the score not updating. So this is probably, so the score is being updated by the use state. So my impression of how this works is that the use state returns a variable and a function, respectively, and then this is the starting value. So basically it's saying game score is set to main.score, which is from this file. So it should be equal to 0 from this constructor. So we're still to initialize the 0, and then every time we call set game score, it should update this variable with whatever we put into this function. So currently that's not happening. Currently it's here. Is where we set the game score. But for some reason, it's not updating. So my first impression is that the actual object in main is a big event. So let's go look at that. So we want the score to be updated when a food is grabbed. That is the ideal situation. which it seems to be that happens, because the snake is actually getting this. I can test that right now. The snake actually gets length when scores a graph. We actually gain length. So this part is weird, but not actually this part, which makes me believe that it could be a sequence error in the code. So I guess the first thing we should try to actually log the score and see what's happening inside of there. So here, what should happen is when we hit the console, it should print out the score. So it starts at 0, so we should hit it, should equal 1. We should hit it again, it should equal 2, 3. Okay, so the score is actually, so it's gotta be in the actual web page code. So I guess let's send that. So I'm not sure what the money sign does. I assume that puts a variable. I'm also unsure of what is it called? The backwards comma? I don't even know. Whatever this is, quotation mark. So for setting game score here, I wonder if we can log the actual score and see if it has a value inside of here. Let's try that. So, I'm not sure why that happens. Why can JavaScript is very weird. Use like a free bracket. Like I'm starting to understand. I have a general like context of when to use things. I just don't know like exactly what the operators do. You know, code was kind of like writing in a language. Like I could not say this in a sentence, but I kind of know when to use it. However, I don't understand how you could have a semicolon here, but not have one here and still work. Okay, we're learning. We're learning. So the actual main.score is. So that gives me reason to believe the set game score is actually not working. So I guess let's log that. Because what should happen is it should set the game store variable to main.score, which is actually being updated. So I would assume this is where the problem's going to be. We're just going to get 0. No, not getting 0. That is interesting. So it actually has a value. It's actually okay. That is interesting. So what is happening here? Maybe this is it updated? So this is actually updated. But this is not. I think this is a problem for old ChatGPT. basically what I'm getting right now is that this was actually being updated. So I'm actually just going to give it the whole code snippet. So it's saying that it should update this. Let's make sure it's spelled correctly. It is. Interesting, interesting. I love JavaScript. So it's basically just said to me, oh, you did it right. Oh, thanks. Interesting. So apparently it is storing the initial value of main.score here. So it's actually not updating. So it's saying that the issues arise because the game score is initialized once and never updated afterwards. So even though it's updated, inside the use effect, the closure formed by set game score captures the initial value of game score, which is the initial value of main.score. Interesting, whatever that means. Just saying using a callback function would fix it. I guess let's try that. It literally just says interesting, to say the least. So I mean, does that just fix it? It is not. See, what I don't understand is that the actual game score variable, you can see here, console.log, is actually 2. My only guess is that this doesn't update dynamically unless you tell it to. So how do I tell it to update dynamically? I'm guessing this isn't actually what I meant. put here? Maybe like... No. No. It does not want that. I wonder if you get a game over, does this reflect the correct game score? I think it's an interesting thought. Oh, we have an error. Never mind. Okay. So I may actually fail. So the only way to fail right now is for the snake to actually eat itself. What I'm planning on doing is I want to add barriers that float across the screen. So after the score is fixed, I plan to add a pause so that you actually, when you refresh the page, it doesn't actually just automatically start. I want it to have a screen before that. I plan to do that by having an if statement in here, having a separate component for loading, hopefully like using an effect loop to hit spacebar, which for my stage is pretty ambitious, but probably wouldn't take more than 2 days. Oh man. But yeah, and then after that I plan to add the barriers, which are going to be white barriers that move across the screen at a varying speed. I don't want them to move as fast as the snake, I want them to move at a varying speed, probably a random speed or some predetermined setting. And then I'm going to have to add a frame tracker and all that jazz. And then after that, the plan is to add particles so that when a barrier gets intact with the snake, it chops off everything before, like everything after where it hits. So say we make it 3, let's do 4, actually let's do 5. So say we have 5 here, this would be really handy if I had a pause option. But the third square, say it hits the third square, this snake would then be 2 lengths instead of 5. It would cut off those 3 squares, and that behavior would happen as long as it's not the head that came in contact with the barrier. If the head comes in contact with the barrier, it would be game over, is the idea. But what I want to happen is, in the case where a barrier happens to slice off the snake, I want the actual squares to explode. I think that would be interesting. But and then eventually maybe having another AI quotation marks snake that tries to eat the food. Maybe adding a power up like a Pac-Man where you can eat the snake. I don't know, something like that. It's kind of the ideas I have right now. Obviously, that's way down the line. Currently, we're just trying to get the damn score to appear. But yeah, that's the plan for right now. I just gotta fix this. So now, the score is actually 0 in the game over screen. So that is unfortunate. So we're having a full meltdown here. Full momentum killer. So I hope it's not something dumb like you're not supposed to fill these. I've seen it both ways, where you leave these empty, where you fill them. But I'm not really sure what they do yet. So that could be the problem. Apparently this is callback, which kind of makes sense. I've noticed that usually this syntax means you have to call this function, which is interesting. So now, I sit here and flounder as I try to figure out why the score isn't updating. Let's see if ChatGPT has anything to say about it. So it's saying I have two issues. The first is initializing with main.score here. It's saying that it's used as an initial state value. It says that it's only validated once during the initial render, so subsequent calls won't actually update it. So it should start at 0. So what if it starts at 0? Is that the whole problem? No, that's not the problem. See, I don't understand how that could be a thing when in the actual code I update it with main score. And the actual variable game score is changing. There's actually another suggestion. Logging game score immediately after setting it won't reflect the updated value due to the asynchronous nature of state updates. Interesting. So this is I need to use a use effect for the actual game store variable. So say I need a use effect here that says when this actually happens. Wait, I wonder if has this been the problem the whole time? Is this the console log we're seeing? That would make a lot more sense. A lot more sense. Wow, okay, so game score. Wait, is this? Oh, I think I know the problem. This isn't returning true. The whole time it was just something stupid. Of course, as always. Basically, this is just return true. It's just not even going in the loop. That's the problem. So this does work. Boom. Ah. But we get a new hell. What in the... Oh man. What the fuck? It automatically resets. Why would that happen? Why would that happen? So as soon as it gets to 3, no, 1, 2, 3, 1. Seems like it's alternating. Yeah. So the first one, you get 1 food, breaks. You get 2 food, breaks. Score resets every time. I wonder if there is a... Is this triggering a reset somehow? So I guess let's look at game over. I want to say no. So this is the this is if I wanted to end the game if I wanted no wraparound. And then this is if the this is it goes through the body. The actual body is the so it takes the head, just the first element in this array, the snake array, and then it slices off the rest to be this one. So then it loops through everything that's not the head, and it checks to see if the head is actually inside of any part of the body. And if it is, then we end the game, because that's game over. However, I wonder if it has to do with this issue that ChatGPT is saying. I doubt it, though. What would cause a full game reset? My idea is, I mean, is it really just this set? Like, if I did not set, would it not happen? Let me refresh it, score 0. Yes, that's what it seems like. We never got past 2 before. So it's saying when I set the actual score, because it is actually logging the game score, because it's always 0. But when I set it to the main score, it resets everything. Why? Why? Let's see. So it's saying that it has something to do with this call. I feel like I don't agree. There's no... There is no... I shouldn't rename this food detection. So the thing that resets the game is this command. Should be new snake, new food, score 0. So our problem is that it can get a food once. That's the strangest part, is that there's a sequence to it. Say we re-enable set. That the first one will work. The first one breaks, but then you can get 2. Why? Why does that one not break? It's always the same sequence. So what's different about this one? Why can I collect this food? So something is triggering. I guess let's check that. Is something triggering that it is game over? Let's go ahead and check that. No. So nothing is actually triggering this. Could be the clear canvas. I guess I could log the actual snake length. Oh, I'm probably not going to get to actually even start the pause today. So, that sucks. But the script. Maybe it's draw. But the problem is that the positions of the actual objects are manually resetting. I'm looking at the... Ah, yes. It's dot snake. I need to change that. Needs to be positioned. I can come later. Okay, this is not going to work. It's too many messages. Let me make sure this is legal. Okay. So it's triggered. We're at 380, 340. It's the actual start is at 20 times 5, 100, 100. So the initial position of the snake is 100, 100. So the snake is actually being pushed back. So it doesn't happen directly after. It doesn't happen directly after. Which is interesting. So we got one grid linked apart, and then here, let me try something. Sorry, syntax. Mistake. So basically, what I want to figure out where position is being reset. Is it being reset right after the sweep? That's kind of the real question. No, they got up to. Cannot reassign because I made it a custom. And it broke. Check is not defined. Can I just make it a boolean? Or no, let. That'd be it, right? Let's try this again. Okay. So it should log the position of here, and then log the next position right after the loop ends. So if they're the same, then we know that the actual reset doesn't happen at that right after the loop. So this same. So it doesn't happen then. So basically, let's check the clear canvas. So just gonna check if it happens during the clear canvas. No. Okay, I'm a little worried. This happened after the draw. Interesting. So I think it is happening during the draw. That one didn't. That one also worked. I guess that hasn't reset yet. It's clear this is the reset. 180. Actually, I don't think it's happening during the draw. So what we're looking for is a complete reset to 100, which isn't happening because we're at 280. This is 100. I guess right there is about 100. So I don't think it's actually happening anywhere here. So try putting it at the end. I don't think it's draw. So, I mean, this is just testing. Check is a local variable. Let's make it a. It's good. Make it a game loop wide variable. Should work. Okay. I got 3. That is because I didn't remove this one. Let's just go ahead and redo that. Okay. 240, 220, 240, 220. Well, shite. So the actual position isn't being updated anywhere here. Which is worrisome. I guess I could go outside the loop and try to do it here. So where does this loop is the set interval. So insta reset 40, 180, which is not 100. So we're actually not getting here, is my impression. Because say it breaks, we're only getting one console log. So I have reason to believe it's not even getting to this one. Because if you look, the actual, when it works, by 2, we get another length. And I get 2 logs. And it breaks. So what is this 100? That was actually apparently used for something. So this controls the actual speed of the game. Somehow that's faster than 90. What's 0? Very fast. 100 was what we were on. So the higher it is, the faster. Interesting. So I'm guessing this is like a clock tick 1000. Something like that. Maybe we can actually see something happen here. So clicks, and then this is actually never reached. So it has something to do with the game loop. So basically, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT what's causing this loop to break. Okay, so right now I do believe this is our issue. I believe it has to do with the actual game score still. So at least we're still in the same area. So I'm gonna try to create a separate use effect such as this one to use for actually setting game score. Does this use a game event listener? I have no idea how to do that. So maybe instead, because the score is actually going to directly correlate to the length -1, because we actually have a starting. Because when you actually look at the hit calculation, we plus both. So we already have an identifier. However, if we add the feature where a stick gets cut off, the score might have to be stagnant. Unless we wanted to remove score as well. But that's farther down the line, I guess. Maybe we'll learn how to do better stuff then. So I'm gonna try this. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Here we go. is, why does it work the second time? Why does it work once the second time? There's a clear pattern happening. But I am not smart enough to figure out what it is or what's causing it. This has definitely been an interesting session so far. I know this one problem would take me this long, but hey. So, I have to just scrap this and say, you know, honestly, we don't really need this to return. We don't really need that for loop, or that if loop, or if statement. Because we actually update the values. Why, yeah, we don't really need it to return. So what if we just did it like this? I mean, would that work? Let's see. No, of course not. Now it's even more broken. I actually kind of want to slow it down, because it seems like it's actually resetting multiple times. Let's go up here. Oh, I missed. Yeah, the actual food is being repositioned twice. That is something, eh? So, I don't know what the exact problem is, but I'm assuming it has to do with the second score. This is just destroying the code right now. So I think I'm actually going to have to look at how to use a use effect to update it, which is going to be a whole ordeal, but it's going to be a whole ordeal, but maybe it was actually the check, because I removed check. No, I didn't. That's rough. Let me just make sure it's not magically working now. And let me update the speed. Can I make this a variable, actually? So I actually know what it is. Okay. No, it's still broken. So now we're getting a double reset. Because if we do remove the score, it actually works fine. So we obviously have the problem child here. So saying, let's go to our old friend ChatGPT. It's saying initialize, which we've done here. So I don't think that's the problem. So I'm guessing this means update every second. And then that's why I had the if loop, so that it doesn't update the score every second, because it's not going to need to update every iteration. It only needs to update when the hit detection occurs. So if we could set that up, I guess you can't do it with an if statement. You need to do it with like an event listener, maybe. So the example code it's giving me is this. So it's saying Listen for game events. Recalculate score on event. And it says replace with actual game event listener. I don't know what that means. So I don't think that there's another example that uses a set interval. I do not believe we need a set interval. Because apparently that runs every second, which I think is what 100 means. So I'm going to look into what this does, how it works, and what is happening here. Interesting. So it says that this would be. So what if we made this hit detection? Or I guess main dot. Oh, main dot. Yeah. Main dot hit detection. Or no, these. So this now need to return. So this is hit detection. So this is the function I want to track. This must be the event name. So this must be the name. This is the name. This is the so when this happens, this happens. So it's saying I actually need to omit the so saying that this when the actual hit detection occurs, I need to emit a signal. I need to emit an event occurring labeled the event name. Let's do food hit detection because that is what's happening. And then I need to return the score apparently because that is what I'm trying to track. Oh man. So we actually need a whole class for this. I'm assuming. Wow. Okay. Oh man, this has gotten way. This is not what I expected to do when I just wanted to fix the score being written on the screen problem. Well, at least we'll have the infrastructure set up if we ever need to use this again. I would assume this is the proper way to handle something like this. So literally right now, I am just going to copy this straight from ChatGPT and try to interpret it. And just try to understand what's going on, really. I think that's the first step of the battle. It's just understand the general concept of what's occurring, and then you can understand the details. I learned a lot like that, just doing something so many times that you eventually just sort of understand how it works. And then once you understand how something works, you can really just use it for any application that you think of, really. At least that's how my brain works, and hopefully some other people's, and maybe they can be encouraged to learn this way with me. Because it is scary, since, you know, failure, sitting here for hours at a time trying to get a number to appear on a screen, you know, it can be daunting at times, so, you know, it's just gotta keep going. Just go and go and go until maybe something will work. So here, I noticed that this is actually the same as this. So, I'm guessing this is actually supposed to mean the emitter? Because once we make a separate class for, this is the wrong file, for, I don't know, let's continue before I try to interpret things I haven't even written yet. So we got the events, the event name, which in our case, the first event's going to be food hit detection. Guessing then, once we do this, we can add events, other events, such as the... See, I feel like this needs to happen because I'm not actually putting the score. Because I'm actually like making the score a component on the screen. I could just make the score a component on the actual, like, right now it's a component that's on the actual web page, which I assume is why it's causing all these problems. If I would just actually put the score into the actual game calculation, I'm sure this wouldn't be such a big deal. Which I'm actually thinking about doing currently. I mean, it would be the easy way out for sure, but I'm pretty certain it would work. Because all you have to do is put text right here. Update the text. That's all. I mean, you literally just add to the draw function draw score, which would probably be a better solution. To be honest, I don't really like how it is here. I don't know why. This web page was created by ChatGPT. It had the game, and then it created the canvas and the score here. I didn't realize this would be such a big deal. I guess I could keep this here as a reminder. To be honest, I don't think I am ready for event handling yet. This is kind of, I'm not really even sure what it does. We'll keep it for now. Maybe I'll come back one day, but kind of reaching a long amount of time here, and I don't want to spend another 3 hours trying to get something I don't understand at work yet. Of course I will at some point. For now, I'm going to give in and say that I'm going to tap out and just do a simpler solution for now. And then if I want to, I can visit it later, which I will probably do. Just so I can understand what's going on, but until I understand what use effect does and its role in this application, I don't think that is in my wheelhouse right now. So, how do we change it? So essentially, I need a text handler. I'm thinking, should I make another file? Yeah, let's go ahead and make another file. Let's do text. However, I will say that adding the pause feature in my Python implementation, I added the pause feature in main because I actually had the loop that executed the code in main. But however, I do think that it would simply just be better to have another component for the menu so that you could change things like that. I think then would be a better opportunity to implement event handlers and such. So I think making the score text in the game would actually be a better implementation. And then the next video we can focus on the event handler if it's needed, and making another actual component that acts as a menu. So I'm just gonna go ahead and close these, but let's do text handler. Text handler text. Probably let's just do text. And then you'd actually don't put parentheses here. We need the constructor. So what are we gonna need? We're going to need an array of text, for sure. We're definitely going to need an array of text. So the idea is we have a queue of text that needs to be updated to the screen so that every time when we draw, we empty the text array and then refill it later with text that needs to be drawn on the screen for various reasons. That's my current thought. Obviously, maybe it doesn't have to be that complicated. Maybe because the score is going to have to be drawn every time. Because in order for the snake and stuff to be drawn, the whole screen must be wiped to a certain color. So that would wipe the actual text. So it's going to have to be drawn every frame. So maybe having, I don't know if appending score to a queue every frame is the most efficient use of computing power. So maybe having I wonder if it would be possible to, it would definitely be easier to have a variable instead of having a permanent index in an array, I'd say. So really just saying, I'm guessing the score text. And then this would just be a function of, this will just be number 2 string. Well, I guess it would be score. I guess it would be nothing. But let's put so it would just be score text. We just this score. Have score text. No, I'd say instead of actually doing this, we'll probably need to pass in the score. say we're in main, we have draw, we import the text class from the folder text, and then we literally in draw we say this dot. Oh, actually we're gonna need to make a text instance. Let's go ahead and do that. Let me move this so that the numbers are grouped and the class objects are grouped. Text equals new text, and then we don't really need any constructors. We don't need to pass anything yet. Draw school. Do that, and then we pass in the school, and then we also want to pass in the position. So I think so. Let's go ahead and I always want to use print. Can you do this? Is this allowed? Guess we're gonna find out. Just straight up. Back to main. This dot text draw score CTX, which I believe is the context of the canvas. Oh, so it's gonna need the CTX. Let me actually view other draws. So yes, we're gonna need like, we're gonna have a command draw text, and then this is going to be position X, position Y, width and height, or height and width, whichever one. Just go ahead and do that. I guess I can just import it. So let's actually go ahead and try this. I guess syntax error. I caught. We're getting an export error because I didn't export this. Classic. Get that going. So I believe now should be good. Yes. We're getting undefined. Awesome. Because I didn't pass it through. Let's go ahead and pass XP 100, YB 100, and we get does it need to be, I need swirly brackets. I didn't need swirly brackets. Comma? Yeah. Oh, I need to say X colon. X colon. Y colon. Save. That's true. I still get to find this. Let's go with the text. I think I spelled this wrong. I'm terrible at spelling this. That's probably right. I'm guessing we just do that. Why am I? Maybe if I try position like this. Undone. Properties undefined meanings. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Ah, because I pass it in as the school, not the position. Should we get 100, 100? Awesome. I don't know what this undefined that's good. So we have the position, we have the score, and we have the context. So basically, context dot context. I already said that for a second. How to display text. So we access the context and use the fill text method. Font, fill style, text, coordinate, and then fill text. Okay. So let's do font is I guess 18 pixel times New Roman. If I can spell it right. And then fill style. Will be just black. Or let's do white. And then we have the text, which is score, and we have the position. So I guess next would literally just be fill text, X, Y. I forgot the parentheses. Classic. Boom. I forgot the word text. Nice. No, this should not be text, it should be score. This should be text. And then actually let X, Y, position. Okay. I think that should do it. The only thing that's left is actually transporting this. I guess we can just go ahead and try it. If I can pull up the screen, snake. Oh, I missed something. We got this dot emit is not a function. Where in the world did I have that? Right here. Okay, first things first, I don't actually want it here. It's 18 pixels, so I want it to be probably about 50, no, I want it to be about right here, in the corner. So this is probably about 50 Y, I'd say, and about almost 400 X. It's probably 350, just 350 pixels on either side. We're still not getting anything. Let me make sure the fill style is correct. I think it is. The text should be 0. So interesting. So we're actually getting nothing, which is always great to get. If my impression is correct, it should say score 0 right in this corner somewhere. 350x would be this way, and then y would be this way. So it should be about right here. Maybe change the color? Oh, it could also be a font, honestly. ChatGPT uses Arial, so let's use Arial. Let me save. Still nothing. Okay. Oh man. Okay, let's see. Am I calling the right thing? I am. Let's go ahead and see what the old GPT has to say. So the first thing it says is, this is probably wrong. Let's just do it the old-fashioned way. Should just done like this from the beginning, probably. That could have just been the problem. Ah, bingo. So first thing I notice is I want to change X times. Question is there spaces? No. Or yes. It's too big. First thought, 12. That should be fine. And then I want it to be higher. So I have a couple initial thoughts. It needs to be higher. So just straight up. That's pretty good. Let's do 20 actually. The first thoughts are, how does it look if I alter the screen? It should be relatively the same size. Let's check how it looks on the mobile. iPhone XR. Not bad. And then it breaks. And then it has a scroll bar, which obviously I don't want. But that comes later. That comes with the web page design itself, because that all stems from this code right here, which couldn't always be done later with CSS and things like that. So we'll do that at another time. But we have the score. So now the only thing that's left is actually updating the score, which can be done by, instead of doing this, I guess it's money sign that. I believe it's used here somewhere. Here. So maybe these mean string format. This is still page. So actually, let me try. So maybe this is like a print.f in other languages. So then I can literally just do main.score. And no, that breaks. Why does that break? I'm guessing the text is just not correct. Let's check what it is. It's sadly gonna print. Yeah, we're definitely gonna need to change the spacing, because this is what it looks like full page. It's just emptiness. Probably center this, maybe. And that comes later. And then turn this off. And then console, we're getting 201 errors. That's great. Main is not defined. What are you talking about? And this. We just have to find that main.draw. Main.score. It should be this score. That would be the issue. Okay. Looking good. Boom. Wow, how much simpler was that? Oh man. Well, you live and you learn. Dang. Damn. So one thing that is, I guess this is one optimization, is that maybe have this text as a variable. So you have like this dot score text. Use string. I guess it would need to be score 0 at first, and then once this is done, say this got store text is equal to the backwards, and then score money sign this dot score, which in turn would then only update the text when it needs to be updated, instead of updating it, instead of having to create the string every single time, every single frame. Just give us a little bit of processing power, and then obviously we don't need this anymore. Let's go and check that. Actually, I do want to check what white looks like. Check that. Different colors. So let's go, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, wonderful. any more random console.logs. But yeah, so that was the majority of what I wanted to do. Next time, I'm probably going to try and create the pause screen so that you have to hit spacebar to start the game. Which I have a couple ideas on how to do, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, this one didn't go as planned, but it never really does. So, yeah, this was Learn to Skill, Episode 1, Learning JavaScript. Thanks for watching.